Okay, we are out at sea, day 29 of our Pacific crossing, and we are about 4,000 miles out. We just crossed the 4,000 mile mark, and we have about 130 left to go to Nuku-Hiva, so we should arrive sometime tomorrow. We left from Panama, went south below the Galapagos, and then cut across straight to the Marquesas. And so it's been a really nice passage. We've had some ups and downs weather-wise with a lot of wind and not too much, but overall it's been really nice. But Camille and I kind of wanted to show you guys what maybe just like a typical day of offshore sailing looks like, and show you around some of the routines we've gotten into at a month at sea, and also talk about some of the highlights we've had from this passage. But we're really excited to get into land, but we're just kind of savoring the last day out here on the water. So we'll show you around. Alright, this is the Hydrovane, lovingly named Stephen. But this is one of the all-stars on board for sure, and so this is basically, Stephen's been steering us most of the way across the Pacific. We've used the electrical autopilot at times, but this is basically a mechanical autopilot that does not use power at all, so it's really critical for a month-long passage. So we basically set the vane to the angle of the wind we want to sail, and if the wind pushes one way or the other on either side, it works through a series of gears to go down to a rudder that actually changes depending on which way the vane goes. So it's very responsive to if we get on or off course, it will position itself appropriately. So we've had no hiccups with Stephen at all, and it would be an entirely different passage if we didn't have Stephen on board. Another note is that this is one of the main things we're kind of monitoring on our watches, and just seeing if the vanes push too far in one direction and not being able to right itself back up. Because straight up and down means we're running straight. And so this is one of the things we're constantly kind of monitoring the wind angle, and also monitoring whether the Hydrovane is happy or not. And so right now he's working himself back and forth, and this looks perfectly fine. So there's a bunch of different levers and things that you can look at a diagram online if you're interested, but very, very important tool for long distance cruising and sailing. Another hero of the trip is the Spinnaker. I believe Alec and Laura got it at the beginning of the trip, but we've been using it a lot on this Pacific run. It's a light wind sail, so it's made of a lighter material than the other sails, and so it's really a 5 knot to maybe up to like 14 knots sail. And so we've had some light conditions throughout the passage, and so we've gotten a lot of time with the Spinnaker up. And if we didn't have it, we would be going very slow, or having to motor more than we'd like, or just kind of float and wait for the wind to come up. So it takes a little bit more work to monitor and make sure we don't get caught by any squalls or gusty conditions, but it has been really critical to keeping us moving along the way. And so how this works is it's a sail that's set up on a pole up front, and so we have it pulled out, goes around the front of the boat, and then there's a sock at the top that we actually can pull down to douse the sail and then bring the sail down. And so it takes a few steps. Usually Laura and I head up, and we're on the foredeck, and Alex at the back coordinating things back here. And so it takes a little bit of work, but it has been well worth the effort. A really key part of the trip. Alright, so we're on night watch, and this is one of the ongoing responsibilities rotates the fore and able to shift each night. And mainly what we're trying to do is just keep the boat going, look out for ships and container ships and things like that on our AIS targets or chart plotter. And we're also just monitoring instruments behind me to make sure the wind angle hasn't changed, the wind speed hasn't picked up, things like that. And if they do, make an appropriate response and potentially get the other crewmates up to help with a sail change or things like that. Also making sure the Hydrovane is happy and we're able to keep on the course that Alec has set for us. And so we usually have a waypoint that we're aiming for, and we'll have kind of a bearing to that. And if our wind angle changes or anything else, we make adjustments to keep going on the correct track, because it doesn't do us any good to make great speed in the wrong direction. So we're always trying to make sure we're the right spot. But for the most part, it's just paying attention to the different instruments and being conscious of any changes. And then usually we have a really clear night sky, and it's a nice time to reflect and look at the stars and write emails. And this is when I've been doing my blog posts for the most part. We've been on the night watches here, so overall it's pretty good, but it's definitely an important job so that we make sure we keep the boat happy and moving in the right direction.